Whew. Listen, y'all, you will not believe who I got on this show. This is Ashley G. The G stands for Get Money because she's been getting a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? She's been featured on Essence, The View on ABC. You were just on there last year, right? Late last year.
Yes.
And that was kind of cool because you did a live where we were able to see your reaction to seeing yourself on The View.
Oh, you saw that?
Oh, yeah,
Aw,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely saw that. So what else? Good Morning America, Deals and Steals, Fox 2 Detroit, Shape. She was listed in Cosmopolitan as 24 best leggings on Amazon. Now, when I searched leggings on Amazon, there were hundreds of brands that popped up. So for you to be listed as top 24, that's a pretty big deal. You've gotten endorsements from a few celebrities. I saw Gabrielle Union. She was rocking the Oasis Maze outfit. She was looking real good in that too. And then who else? Thick Fit Queen on Instagram.
Yeah.
She has like hundreds of thousands of followers across all social media platforms. She's an excellent accountability coach. I think since the inception of her fitness journey, she's lost 100 plus pounds.
Yeah, she has.
Crazy,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
You lost 70 in 10
Yeah.
months. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about that. The
Not 77.
77?
Yeah, we
Oh,
getting
shoot. Dang, that's crazy. Okay. So anyway, the biggest endorsement of them all, Oprah's favorite things 2021 list. You made that in 2021, right?
Yes.
And she basically said that the Mel Fit essential leggings were perfect. There's
She
like,
did.
I mean, as an entrepreneur, can you get a bigger endorsement from anybody than Oprah?
No, you can't.
Let's talk
You
about that
can't.
first. How did you feel when you found out you had made that list?
Whew. I didn't believe it at first. I had received. I was just like, I thought it was spam because
Yeah.
I received the email and it didn't say like Oprah Winfrey or anything like that. And when I opened it and I read it, and I was like, "Is this real?" I sent it to a couple of my friends, and I'm like, "What y'all think?" And they was like, "I don't know," because it was just like Oprah Winfrey. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally talked to the lady and, she was so excited and pumped up and she was like, "I guarantee you this is real. Like, do not worry. And we're from so-and-so Productions." And I was just like, wow. Like
I need to know what your mama said. What did your husband say? How did they feel about this?
my
Because Oprah
mom,
huge.
yeah, she is. My mom, she's just like my biggest fan. So she just, yay, oh my God, yes, 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 yes. Like she was just screaming yes for like 5 minutes straight.
Wow.
My husband was like, really? He was just so proud. He like, oh, we made it now.
I know,
Like,
I know. Did you have like relatives popping up out of nowhere like, yo, cuz, what's up? No, you had that.
yeah. I had people, especially after everything rolled out, and I started posting about it. I had people in the comments like, "Hey, cuz,
Yeah.
congratulations!" I
Dang.
showed my
Like,
mom
who's
like,
this? Yeah, yeah.
"Mom, which cousin is this?" She like, "I don't know."
Wow, wow.
But yeah.
So when that happened, when you made Oprah's list, you were already kind of prepared for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you had a rollout not too long after that had happened, right?
I wasn't prepared. Well, yeah, I did. I had to get prepared. So when they reached out to me, it was like a process. So they reached out to me in like July or June or July. And she told me that they were in the process of considering me to be one of Oprah's favorite things. So they said it wasn't official yet, but I had to send in some stuff. So I sent them, some samples or whatnot. And it went back and forth. They asked me to send out some more sizing. And that went on for like a whole month. And then I found out actually towards my birthday, the end of August, that I had made it. So that was like a great birthday gift for me.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, so it was a long process. And at that point, I had from the end of August till Good Morning America, which was November 1st, but really October, to get everything, like thousands of leggings
Wow.
shipped and prepared and
Yeah.
ready, you know what I'm saying, for Good Morning America, and then to be on Amazon and, just being part of Oprah's favorite things, that was a thing in itself. So
Wow. So you mentioned your birthday is at, what you said, August 30th?
yes, August 30th.
Okay, so you're a Virgo.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Let's think of some celebrities. I know you got
Beyonce.
Beyonce. You got Keanu Reeves, Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
Let's see, Misty Copeland, Ava DuVernay, Tyler Perry,
Yeah, Tyler
Taraji P.
Perry.
Henson, Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know a lot about Zodiac stuff, but what I do know, because my friend is like heavy in it, and she said something about Virgos being driven by creativity. Right. So I hope I'm getting that right, Detroit Red. Don't you cuss me out if I get that wrong. But when did you first realize that you were a creative? Because you have to be creative to build the brand that you built
Yeah.
and design something that, there was like there was a huge gap in the market for this type of legging that
Yeah.
you designed. That
Yeah.
took creativity. So did you stumble upon this as an adult, or did you know this as a child?
I never really knew, like, I never really been into fashion like that, but I will say that I always tapped into my creative side. Like, I have an older sibling. He's 6 years older than me. So really it was just me by myself. By the time he was a teenager, graduated, he went over to the Air Force.
Wow.
So I was really home alone a lot. He was a boy. He was always around his friends and my boy cousins. So I think I kind of tapped into my creative side as a kid with my dolls. I used to just set them up, sing in front of them, and just create little like skits and shows and stuff like that for my dolls.
Wow.
And
Did you have
I
an
think it
audience?
started then.
Did you have an audience back then watching? Who was the
My
audience?
dolls and my mama.
And she's still your biggest fan to this
She
day.
is to this day.
Okay, so where you grew up at? Was it the east side of Detroit or the west side?
West Side.
West side? Oh, wow. Okay. West side of Detroit. I grew up on the east side.
Okay.
So, and what was the first house you remember growing up in?
Actually, the first house was on the east side. So I was there maybe 2 years that I can remember, and then we went to the west side, and that's where I like really grew up at.
So that's the house what was your favorite house you remember growing up in as a child?
Probably that one on the east side because I had a whole playground
Y'all hear
built
that?
for me.
Y'all hear that? Because the east side be getting a lot of flack. So
Because I'm really west side for real, but yeah. So I really, in my mind, I remember it because it was a big house. I remember my room in there, and I had like the whole play set built in the backyard for me. I grew up as the only girl. It was my brother, but I also grew up with my god brother. So
oh wow!
it was
so
three
he
of
lived
them.
with you guys? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
So they were 6, 7, 8, 9 years older than me. So it was a big gap. So being the girl, the only girl, and the youngest, I got pretty much spoiled. So
wow.
All the Christmas gifts, I got all the dolls. The playground was just really for me.
And nobody messed with you then because you had like 3 older brothers.
Exactly.
2 god brothers.
Nobody
right?
ever messed with me. Yeah.
Okay, so who else? Was it your mom, your dad in the household too?
No, I didn't grow up with my dad. So it was just my mom and my aunt. So
your aunt. Okay. So how was that? Let me ask you this question. What are some of the strengths that you got from your mom?
Oh, I would say hustling. I remember at that age on the east side, she had a business called Starless Designs, and she also had a limousine service business. So I just remember her always working for herself till she got older and started working at Chrysler. But Starless Designs was with her and my auntie. They used to do airbrush jean jackets, and I remember like Patti LaBelle. They got Patti LaBelle to sign it. They used to go to these concerts and meet the celebrities, and they was grinding. So
wow.
I feel like I got that strength from her. I got, just determination and just being strong-minded, and just, going after everything that you want.
That's what's up. So your brother, me and my sister are 5 years apart.
Okay.
So we weren't that close because I was like the annoying little brother that she had to, take with her everywhere and all of that stuff. But what about you and your brother? How was that relationship growing up?
We weren't really that close either.
Okay.
Because I was the younger sister. It was just like go sit down somewhere type thing, But yeah. Not that close.
Got you. Okay. So you ended up going to Cass Tech, and I found that out off camera right before we started filming. You graduated 01.
Yeah.
I graduated 02. I'm sorry, I told her age.
It's okay. I've accepted it now. It's okay.
Hey, we still young.
Yeah.
We still young. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hit 40 yet, so we good.
Almost.
Yeah. So you so anyway, you went to Cass Tech. What was your experience like going there? Were you the popular person? Were you more to yourself, or?
I was more to myself, but I was cool with everybody that I met. I feel like even to this day, it's, some people from Facebook that, we now entering our 40th year of birthdays, and, I go and celebrate happy birthday with them, but I was never like the popular kid. I was definitely to myself.
It don't seem like you was looking for that either, though. Yeah, I got you.
I've never been that type of person. Just but I'm cool once you get to know me.
Got you. Okay, so at Cass Tech, what did you think you were gonna be as an adult, profession wise, when you were there? Had you even thought of it? I guess.
Not really. I mean, I was in engineering, electronics
I
engineering.
was too.
You was?
Yeah, Mr. Abdullah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We used to put the circuit boards
Yeah,
together.
yeah, I remember that with the transistors and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
capacitors and all that stuff. Yeah.
So to this day, I feel like I'm a genius when it comes to screwing in
Yeah.
light bulbs and changing out stuff.
Oh, you do that yourself, huh? You be like,
Yeah,
hey,
'cause
husband, you just step back. I got this.
When it comes to wires and all that stuff, yeah.
For real? Dang, see, that's something that none of y'all knew about Ashley. That's an exclusive
Yeah.
right there. So anyway, so then you graduate from Cass Tech. You ended up going to Wayne State University. You went into human resources.
I did. Well, initially I did business administration.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I got 2 degrees. So
Okay.
I have
Wait, hold on one second. You got 2 bachelor degrees?
I got a bachelor and my master's.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So initially you went to Wayne State and you did business administration. I'm sure that definitely came in handy today.
Yes.
And then you went to grad school at Wayne State too?
I did. I originally started at U of D and then I transferred over to Wayne State and got my master's. I only went back because I had flash forward some years. I've always been in sales and customer service.
What?
Yeah, for years.
But you said you was an introvert. How you see?
I know.
You're a jack of all
I
trades.
feel like an introvert, but I guess.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah,
I got
wanted
you.
to make money.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
know, like, when it comes to sales, you can make a lot of money with
Yeah,
sales
yeah.
because there's no cap. There's no, just $10 an hour. It's a, $15 an hour plus commission or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So it just depends on how much effort you put in it, so to
Exactly.
speak. And you like that because there's no ceiling.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Human resources. When you graduated, did you actually start working for a company doing human resources?
No, so we gotta go back. So I
Oh,
have
shoot,
my
let's go back.
bachelor's.
Here we go. Okay.
I've worked at places like Verizon Wireless and sales. I've done what was that? AAA sales, selling car insurance, home insurance. I did a phone company where I would reach out for surveys and for donations.
This was all while you was getting your bachelor's degree? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you used to working and going to school or just multitasking like that?
I had to. Yeah, I do what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I had a son at a young age. So my son is 17. He'll be 18 this year. I had him at 21, right before I turned 22. So, yeah,
Wow.
I was determined to go back to school and I just stayed in school no matter what. I remember being in school pregnant,
Wow.
with him.
That's kind of, I'm getting ready to interview Vanessa from Fancy Homebody
Okay.
this Saturday. And
that's
then
my
Mia.
girl.
See, look at that, man. We got, greatness just knows each other. Great people hang around great people. So that's what's up. But they all were mothers before the big success came, right? You too. And so many people today are putting that off and they're saying, nope, I gotta pursue my dreams first before I start a family. But not you guys. Did having a child at 21, did it make you go harder? It don't seem like it hindered you at all, right?
It
gave
didn't
you more
hinder
of
me.
a,
It just, I feel like it may have gave me a bigger push for sure, as I had to provide not just for myself, but for this little kid that was looking up to me. This is my baby. So I grew up with my son for the most part. I learned a lot of things with him because I was so young, and now about to be 18.
Wow, I just think that's motivation for people who think that they can't do it with kids. It's nothing wrong with waiting if that's what you choose to. But the fact that you guys are living proof for like a young woman out there who might feel like it's impossible to do it with kids,
You can do
guys
it.
did it.
You can do it. And you always got a support system. One of the things I was telling my people a couple weeks ago is that, and I say my people, like I have a group on Facebook and
The Melt Babes.
yeah, my little babe. So,
Yeah.
but one of the things I always preach on is that if people offer to help you, take it. I remember my younger days, I used to be like, no, I'm good. And I used to always think like I could just do this on my own. If someone is offering, hey girl, if you need anything, I'm there. I got you. Okay, take it. Don't just be like, no, and try to be superwoman. So when I was in college and I had my son, he was 6 months. My friend, she reached out like, do you need anything? I'm like, yes. Can you please watch him? I got to go take a final. Take advantage of help
Community.
and support and community. It really does take a village to raise a kid.
So your mama, she was like one of them hands-on grandmoms who was always there. I got you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when I really make it, I'm gonna definitely give her the world because
Really make it. Oh shit, we gotta talk because I thought you. Well, Oprah said like that's like climbing the top of Mount Everest when Oprah says that your leggings are the best leggings. So I'm thinking you made it already, but you got more goals, right? I
yeah,
get that.
absolutely,
I get that.
absolutely.
So you did sales. I had a sales job when I was in. I think I was in college, maybe, and I ain't last 2 weeks, man.
Most people don't.
I was selling like vacuum cleaners, and I had this one dude just like I was getting cussed out by all of these people who I was calling, like, stop calling my phone, hanging up on me, and
Yeah.
it just took a toll on me. So you got to be a certain type of person,
You
a
do.
resilient person
You
to
do.
do. And you did job after job, Verizon, all of
Yeah.
these. I mean, how do you think that experience helped you build your business and build it successfully? How did that experience inform that?
I was always told no, you know, and it back in my early sales days, I was told it take 9 no's to get a yes, and I just be like, okay. I used to count it like, oh,
Yeah.
there's number 5,
Yeah.
there's number 6, and then I got better at it because I learned, like, I just started to learn people and like, okay, you know, this type of person. Initially, when you say hi or whatever, you know, you could tell by their voice, or you could tell like the way they look, if they feel like being bothered, if they don't feel like being bothered, if they have a kid or a wife that's right there, you probably can interact with them. And then it's just so many things that you learn, you know, as you continue to do it that can help you with your sales. I used to do sales at the airport and do surveys when people would come off their planes. How many people want to talk to you when they're getting off a plane?
Wow.
And I used to make money for just completing a survey for a brand. Like, oh, could you just answer a few questions, you know? And I would do that. I did, like I said, the phone calls. I used to call people and annoy them. Hi, this is so-and-so from blah, blah, blah company. Just calling on behalf of the children's charity event that's coming up or something like that. And, you know, just, I think, you know, I got hung up on millions of times. And I think all of that just really prepared me. And I didn't know. And I was actually thinking about that today when I was getting ready. Like, what is he going to ask me about? And I'm like, you know, I feel like God has prepared me all these years, and I just never knew it, you know, for what I was going to get to, which is what I'm doing now. Just because it's hard to post on social media. You got to really have a strong backbone to post and not be afraid about what anybody's going to say, not be afraid if your reel isn't doing good, if you're not getting any likes, no comments. You got to be really strong-minded to just keep going and doing it no matter what.
Wow. Oh my God. So I have friends now who are going through certain things. Like I have one friend that's going through a breakup.
Okay.
And she pretty much was telling me like, man, I wish I had never experienced this. I wish I would have never gotten this relationship.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, oh, is that the
Yeah, just keep going off.
the
I'm
beep
sorry.
is the then listen, this is okay because when you got somebody as busy as her, that's gonna happen. So if you hear that beep, just know that that's money. That's money chiming in or whatever. So
Silly.
so anyway, but she's going through this thing and she's like, oh, I wish I had never experienced this. And it's like, no, you like when you look back 10 years from now, then you're going to realize why you had to go through that. So that's the
yeah.
same thing with
Oh,
your
yeah.
journey where at that time you're like, why am I getting told no and rejected and having to deal with this?
Yeah.
And then you start your business and you start hearing no's, getting rejected, and you like, oh, this ain't nothing. Wow. Okay. So now we get to you graduating from yeah.
So I actually got to AAA. I was working at AAA in sales, and I was selling insurance.
That's my car insurance, y'all.
Yeah, I was selling insurance, everything. I studied. I got my PNC license from the States just so I could work there, you know, and I was doing good. And I've always been in the top sales no matter where I've been at. So I've always done really well when it comes to sales.
You don't even know what mediocre even looks like when in that. I mean, that's just a lightweight flex, but I'm just saying, y'all better take notes. Go
I've
ahead.
always been top sales. So when I was working there, I actually ended up getting fired there for a phone call that I had. And I said, you know what? I'm just tired of sales at this point. I'm going to go back to school. And that's when I went back because I had already had my bachelor's. I went back and got my master's. And during that time, I got fired because my daughter, my middle child, she's a severe asthmatic. She's doing good now. But from the age of 2 to like the age of 6, she was hospitalized 30, 40 times. ICU over 10 times. So at the age of 2, she was flown from West Bloomfield, Henry Ford, all the way to Children's Mott to Ann Arbor.
What?
She almost died twice. So we dealt with a lot during that time. And it was hard for me, you know what I'm saying, to work. I couldn't work and I used to take off a lot of time and I ended up getting fired. So
On top of that.
So I was like, whatever, you know. So I went back to school and I went to HR because I'm like, I'm gonna make sure that I put people on and I'm not going to, if things like this come across, or, I'm going to give people a chance, things
So
like that.
So you going through your experience of being fired during the toughest time in your life inspired you to want to get into a position to where you can help somebody if they fell on hard times.
Exactly.
That's why you chose human resources.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
So I got into HR. I had an internship at FCA Chrysler, and I was working down at the plant off a mound, and I did really good. I felt like I did good. They went on vacation. They left me in charge for like the weekend at one point, but I didn't get the job full time.
Okay.
Somebody else's kid that was working there that, they know their parents and stuff, they ended up getting a position. So that was kind of devastating for me because I just thought like, oh, I'm about to be in, I done did all this hard work, but I didn't get the job. And after that, I still couldn't find a job. So by this time, I done had my third baby. So now I'm like,
Second
okay,
daughter.
what am I going to do?
Your second daughter. Okay.
My
gotcha.
second daughter. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So before that even happened, in between the time of being at AAA and at Chrysler, I was selling sweat belts. So I started by selling sweat belts as well.
Wow. Wait, you started selling before you even got to apparel. You started selling.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Before I even got to belts. Okay. So we got to go back. Because I feel like I'm all over the place with my story.
No,
but
this is good.
when I started my page, and I'll get back to that, when I started my fitness page, which is definitely fitness now, it wasn't initially for fitness. So I was a singer, and I used to sing, and then...
So you've been creative. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to, sing, and I was in a band or whatnot, but my page came about because after I had my second child, I gained weight, and I wanted to lose the weight. So I wanted to lose 60 pounds. And I'm like, I want to post about it, but I don't want to post about it on my page. I don't want everybody all looking at me and stuff. So I created this new page. But then when I created it, I was like, you know what? I could turn this into like my singing page because people are following me and I'm getting all these, new people. I'm like, I could probably like turn this and make something happen when it comes to the whole singing career.
Yeah.
So I started trying to do like little jingles and stuff like that, and just
jingles?
singing
Wow.
here and there,
Yeah.
just trying to get attention from different brands and companies. But it didn't even work out like that. It ended up just becoming my fitness page, and I started seeing how much I was inspiring women from all over the world to just keep going and to lose weight. And I started getting these DMs and messages and just comments about how much I'm inspiring them and how I saved them from just going down the wrong path or different things like that made me feel like, well, maybe this is where I need to be going and heading in. So I stayed with it and I started creating Watch Me Melt challenges, which was like weight loss challenges. And
30 days for 30 minutes, right?
Yeah. 30 days. Yeah. 30 days, 30
something
minutes
like that.
or something.
Yeah.
Along the terms.
Yeah.
But it used to be like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And I would give out cash prizes. So they would like have an entry fee. And the top 3 people would like win like 200, 500, sometimes
to the
1,000.
Melt Babes.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, wow,
Melt Babes.
man.
So I did that for years. And then I would have like t-shirts here and there. But then that's when I got into the waist belts. And I started like really selling sweat belts. So during all this time, I'm still working full time and I'm doing this on Instagram, right? And this started like 10 years ago, I want to say, 10, 11 years ago.
You said you were working full time. Where were you working?
Everywhere that I was telling you about
okay,
earlier.
okay. All those different places.
All those
I got
different
you. Okay,
places.
okay.
I always had a new job. But the last main job I had was with Chrysler in AAA.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
But by this point, when I'm at AAA, I'm selling sweat belts. And people know that I'm selling sweat belts. So I'm posting on Facebook about it.
You started your social media for singing, like to promote your singing, doing jingles. Ended up saying, okay, well, let me do my fitness journey on here.
Because when I was posting my fitness journey, I was getting a lot of likes.
A lot of traction,
I started getting a lot of people following me. So I'm like, well, maybe this is what I should be doing instead.
So you didn't even, oh my God. So you stumbled upon your purpose.
Yeah.
See, that's important for everybody because some people think that, oh, let me just sit still and do nothing. But when you sit still, sometimes you can shrink. Yeah. So even if you going somewhere, it might be the wrong direction, but you'll stumble upon where you're supposed to be and be able to change course. So it was just important that you was doing something because most people just get stuck and they feel like if I don't know what my purpose is now, I just can't move. Yeah. But you kept moving where you had to. You had the kids.
I had no choice. Yeah. I had to figure out a way to make money.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. And
so the sweat belts, so how was you doing with the sweat belts? Was you selling them online?
Online. So everything was online. And I started like on Facebook. I'd be like, hey, I got these sweat belts. I took pictures. I did my first first photo shoot, and I took my pictures, posted it on Facebook, posted it on Instagram, and people started buying them. You know, this was like when they were first popular. So like,
So
everybody wanted one.
Well, and it don't seem like you just thought of something and said, "Yo, I think people might need this." This was for yourself.
It was for myself.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it just so happened that many other people could use it too.
Everything with Mel Fit came about because I needed it for myself.
Whoa.
And I couldn't find something that would fit me or that how I wanted it to fit. So I created it.
Yeah. I think it's dope how you inspire people too, because it doesn't come across self-righteous. It's almost like you got people out there who like, y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that. But it's like, no, this is what I'm doing. If you want to join in, you can do it too.
Yeah.
And we can hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
that's really, really dope.
Absolutely. It's all about accountability when it
Yeah.
comes to the whole fitness thing. So yeah, so I was selling belts, and it got to a point where belts was making good money, you know? And then I started working at Chrysler. I got not laid off, but I don't know what that would be called. I didn't get the job full time. Yeah. So I couldn't find another job. I was applying to all these different places, and I couldn't get hired in. So I said, you know what? Maybe it's meant for me to do what I've always been doing on the side and just go hard at it. So I started working for myself full time, and I've been working for myself full time ever since.
And it's kind of good that you did that because, like you said, you had your daughter who had severe asthma.
Exactly.
So you needed to be flexible to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So then at what point did you say, you know what? Let me go ahead and design some leggings.
So, and it's funny because I feel like now that I look back, I'm like, why didn't I then start selling leggings, you know? But everything has its purpose, you know? And I feel like you said with your friend going through what she went through and thinking, you know, I wish I never went through this. You got to go through these things, but that's how you learn, you know? And it's not really mistakes. It's just lessons learned. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I went through was a lesson that I had to learn in my life in order to do better and to get to where I'm at now. So with the belts, you know, I was selling them on my trunk at one point.
What?
And I used
like pulling up at grocery store parking lots?
I used to pull up at the Orchard Lake and 12 Mile. It's a Starbucks there now and everything. But I used to pull up in that parking lot over there, and I would post like, hey, I'm here from 12 to 2. You want to come and get a belt? And I would open up my trunk, and I have all the different sizes.
Golly. Wow.
And laid out in my trunk. And yeah, I would do that here locally. And then I was still having sales online. I would ship to them online. But I could only make so much money with the sweat belts. So I got into leggings because even then, which seems like such a short period of time, maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I got my first sample of leggings. And to know nowadays, there are so many different plus size businesses out here or brands that cater to plus size women. Back then, you really didn't have that. And it seems like you would think that it's been around for a long time, but it hasn't been.
Yeah.
So leggings were never really designed for Black women and their curves. And it was either too tight in the thighs or not fitting up in the waist and would fall down or see through because Black women especially are more curvier. So I said, you know what, let me create my own leggings then. So that's what got me started.
Since I can't find none that fit me the way I want.
Exactly.
I got you. Okay.
So that's what got me started. And I had my first sample, I think, in 2019, early 2019.
4 years
28,
ago?
yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then I did that. I got a few of them out. People loved them. I'm like, okay, you know. And then I started doing the thing, which is the bed rock. I don't know if you...
No, explain that to us, the bed rock.
So I got into my first printed design, which was the bed rock collection. And I think that's what really put me on the map when it came to leggings and apparel. So bed rock collection, you know, the Flintstones, bed rock. We got Fred, Wilma.
Yeah.
Betty,
What?
you know, all of them.
Well, because I want to say she got some of the coldest prints. She got the coldest solids too, but your prints are on point.
And that's what made me. I started with prints first because I wanted to make a statement, and I wanted to, because everybody can have a solid color, right? You can get black from anywhere, red, whatever. But when it came to prints, I felt like I would stand out with prints.
That was like your unique identifier right there.
Exactly.
That's what separates me from everybody else. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow, so you selling stuff out of your trunk. So here's some of I'm gonna try to think, because I was reading all the reviews that you've gotten, and nothing bad, nothing negative. One person said that the leggings were magical.
Really?
No, straight up. I'm gonna read these. Another person basically said that the extra weight doesn't move around during workouts. Compression. Okay, so you're gonna help explain a lot of this to me. You know, I'm a guy. I don't wear leggings when I go to the gym. Okay, the other person basically said that they were high rise, unlike other leggings that claim to be. What does that mean?
So
As a man, because I don't know yet.
So high rise is really like, it just comes up above your belly button and it sits there. So when we say no rolling, when you're doing a squat or you're moving around or you're sitting down, like right now I'm sitting down, my leggings aren't rolling down my stomach.
Oh, okay.
They're up, they're sitting down on my waist and they're secure.
Yeah.
Women don't like to feel like they got to keep moving their clothes around or pulling stuff up all the time. Like, we don't want that. So high waist is just staying up. It covers that area most women hate, which would be called the fupa. Women don't like that fupa. So
which I think is quite sexy. You know what I'm saying? For my wife, yeah. But anyway,
most men
when
do.
after she had our babies, I was like, oh, that's kind of sexy right there. Go ahead.
So with the fupa, women want that to be covered, so that they can feel more secure and confident. And the leggings help, with that. Compression holds you in, where you're not feeling like, you're all over the place. So it's just like keep you good and feeling like solid and secure.
Okay, the next comment, the pockets are game changing, which I don't see women with leggings on in the gym that have pockets, but with this, they don't even have to go to the back and go to the lockers. Sometimes they don't be wanting to go back there. They can just put their license, their credit cards, or their phones in there. So
everything.
Yeah. So,
especially the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's another one? Somebody said they move right with every step and stay in place perfectly.
How do you remember all of this?
I don't know. I'm really interested in your story.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
The next person said that they were designed with lots of love, right? And the fit is so comfortable. A tall, bootylicious girl's dreams. That was like my favorite comment. That's my favorite comment. Another person said they were the best leggings ever created.
Aww.
And one of my favorite comments was from a young lady who talked about how well they concealed the tummy. You talked to the fupa.
The fupa, yeah.
And she said that she did something that she had never done, which was wear a crop top.
Oh, wow.
Like all her life, she wanted to wear a crop top, but your leggings gave her the confidence to do that out in public. So for men, we got our double XL, hoodies and our big shirts. We got our varsity jackets. We can cover up our dad bod. So it's important for women to have something like that too, so that they'll feel comfortable out in public without exposing things to everybody.
And confident. You want to be confident when you walk in, and especially even in the gym. You might be there. We're all at the gym for some type of purpose, right?
Yeah.
Lose weight, gain weight, muscle, whatever.
Or you might meet somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But
one of my friends, my homeboy, he met his wife at the gym.
Really?
So yeah. And he was like, man, she was working out in something that looked real good. It might have been Mel Fit. Had these prints on it. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, ladies, that might be a good place to meet a guy.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, my wife, she bought a couple outfits and the material. So she woke up, she did about 5 different things that day, right? She took the kids to the restaurant. Aww. She went over her sister-in-law's house, went to the grocery store, went out with her girls that had some mimosa. But she did everything but work out. And I'm like, Bridget, why you ain't?
Because most people don't work out and they Mel Fit.
Yeah, because it's such quality, but that's what it was created for. So the fact that you developed or designed this multi-purpose apparel that people can wear is crazy. I'm in the kitchen, she cooking some breakfast this day, and I look out the corner of my eye, and she was like lightweight twerking. She felt like she was walking around the house. I said, "Is you twerking?" And she said, "No, I'm not doing." She didn't even know that I was in the room at that point. Very confident, comfortable. She already is curvaceous, but it accentuated her curves even more. So she was like feeling herself. Was that all a part of the plan in creating
absolutely.
that? Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's so crazy. And then you talked about giving back, right? Because you did the Mel Fit giveaways. How important is it to you to give back, number one? And do you have other people who reach out to you and say, hey, can you give me some advice?
I do, yeah. I like the ones that say, hey, I've been doing X, Y, and Z. And they paint a picture for me and say, I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I'm at this point now. And I'm just wondering if you could help me get to here, or what, would you recommend for me to get to this next level, or could you give any tips? I don't like the people that come and be like, who's your manufacturer? Like, hi, how are you?
Wow. Okay. This is
Make,
important right here.
I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
make clothing. Who did you go to? Or where can I go to? Like, it's just like, dang, like, you think I'm just about to give you my manufacturer after all these years of me trying to find a manufacturer, getting to my manufacturer and then working with my manufacturer? I'm just going to be like, here, take it.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I don't feel like it's this is my opinion.
Audacity.
It's like I don't know if it's the right question to ask. If I'm somebody who I'm aspiring to be a successful business owner, I'm more so concerned with like, hey, what obstacles did you have to overcome?
Right.
What gave you the strength to make it through that? I'm not trying to really
what
get
I would want to know
no answers to the test. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how to prepare for the test.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you on that. Okay. So it's important for you to basically give back to other entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and also give back to people by showing them your journey, your fitness journey, right? Which you've lost 77 pounds over the course of how many months?
It's been a year now.
A year, 77? Yeah. So, okay. So now I need to know this because I'm sure even before that you were trying to lose weight. And so what made it really...
It's been like this my whole life.
Yeah, but something clicked a year ago, right? And you were starting to see consistent results. What happened?
So, I mean, I've lost weight several times back and forth with my whole Watch Me Meal journey over the past 10 years or 11 years I've had this Instagram account. What really worked this time is I think me getting older and just seeing people our age, you know what I'm saying, who are suffering from different illnesses or people who may be unfortunately passing away because they were sick or having heart issues. And I just felt like that was a wake-up call for me. I also had some family members that got really sick. My brother, who, like I told you, is 6 years older than me. He's only 6 years older than me. He recently had a stroke. He had a stroke last year. And, you know, that along the way made me feel like, okay, I got to stick with what I got to do and just be healthy, you know. But, you know, it affected his heart. You know, now he can barely, like, talk as much as he used to. And he was a talker.
Wow.
You know, it affected his walking, everything. So he's trying to still recover from that. And it'll be a year in a couple of months. So things like that just really put me in the perspective of just knowing, like, you know, health is wealth. And I got to do what I got to do if I want to live life. Everything that you want in this life is possible, but your health is the most important thing. Because if you're not healthy and if you don't have it together physically and mentally, how are you going to do everything else that you want to do?
Wow. So being healthy physically and mentally, it prepares you for life's hardships.
Absolutely.
Wow. So now you're married too, right? How long have you been married?
Forever. For like, how long have we been married? Ooh, I hope you don't watch this part.
You know, we're going to cut that out and then come back to it.
However long my second oldest is. So, should be 12. Yeah. So about almost 12 years.
Hey, when people can't recall when they got married, that's a good sign. Because people be asking me like, yo, sometimes they ask me the day, like, when was the wedding? But I've been having so much fun.
Yeah.
Right? The people who can call it out quick and be like, 13 years, September 11th, blah. It's like, no, you ready for this to end. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's not a bad thing, man, that you can't recall that.
Over 10 years for sure.
Over 10 years. Yeah. Why? Let me ask you this. How important has he been in your journey to becoming who you are today?
Very important. You know, we started at a young age, you know, like I feel like I grew up with him as well. So we went through our ups and downs, just learning ourselves first and foremost, I feel like. And then like, I feel like we're at this point now where we're both, because he started a business himself. I feel like I inspired him.
What?
But
he's like, look at her. She ain't dealing with the man. She ain't working a 9 to 5. She seemed happy. Let me try this.
Yeah,
and he
so
tried it.
We both work for ourselves full time. So
wow.
He actually, so the year I became Oprah's favorite things, he was told he only had a few months to live.
What?
So he suffered from heart issues, and he's 2 years younger than me actually. So he suffered from heart issues, and
was it because of like fitness and stuff, or
I think he got sick,
okay.
And when he got sick, I feel like he had COVID. He said he didn't have COVID, but I feel like he got some type of virus, and the virus gave him like cardiomyopathy. Okay. I want to say, I don't know the.
So he was a fairly healthy person prior to. Okay, gotcha. Okay, just wanted to
not overweight or anything like that. Just
just unfortunate event. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he got really sick, and then at some point he ended up wanting to start his own business, right?
Yeah. So he got sick, and I introduced him to CMOS. And I told him, you should use sea moss because this helps to get the mucus out your body. And whenever you have mucus trapped in your body, you're going to have sickness, So that's where all the sicknesses come from, the ailments. So he tried it and he liked it and it worked for him. And they wanted to give him a new heart. He was trying to get on the heart transplant list. Wow. And then they wanted to give him an LVAD, which is the the heart mechanical pump in the meanwhile. And they said, you got to have this or you're going to die. So all of this was happening right before Oprah's Favorite Things. And just to go back, that was a year of adversity for me that I had to face because I'm like, I'm going to lose my husband. I hadn't put out any new product yet. I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I eventually got the call from Oprah's Favorite Things out of nowhere because I was like, how did they even, I'm not even doing anything right now.
Man, you needed that win at that point.
I needed it.
Wow.
So he actually got into sea moss because of his heart. He started taking it and then he saw the benefits of it. Flash forward to now, he never needed a heart transplant. Wow. He's perfectly fine. They say he's a miracle walking. He sells his sea moss. He's in Myers, Rivertown, Myers, Woodward, Market Fresh in Southfield.
What's the can we promote the brand? What is it?
Yeah, it's called FLÅVIA Sea Moss.
FLÅVIA Sea Moss. Okay, wow.
Go to FLØVIA7.com.
Dope. Okay, so and that's because we all been inspired. Dr. Sebi, right? I think that's how you pronounce his name. Okay,
alkaline-based diet and foods, and once you have those alkaline foods in your body, it's electrifying for your body, and it helps you to just thrive.
Wow.
Versus putting dead food in your system.
Wow. So, okay, you had a child who had severe asthma. You were losing jobs after going to school to get your master's, thinking that, okay, I finally found my career. Yeah. Husband was on the brink of losing his life. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of all that, you still managed to get to the point that you are today. And which is a very successful business owner. Oprah said those are her favorite leggings. So that's saying a lot. And if you hadn't taken care of yourself health-wise, mentally, there's no way that you could have handled all of that stuff that came your way. And obviously you're stronger as a result of it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like I could take on anything. Anything. I'd be like, come on, bring it to me.
Wow. Yeah, how do you, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, I feel like I just can conquer anything at this point.
How do you balance? I saw recently, this was last weekend, it was the Disney animation immersive experience downtown. And it looked cool because they were showing like the Lion King and all this stuff on these big cathedral looking walls and stuff. How do you balance motherhood with being a businesswoman, with being a wife, with being your mother's daughter? You know what I'm saying? How do you balance all of these things?
God. Every morning when I wake up, I thank God and I pray. I always say, God, please help me to be a better wife, a better mother, a better daughter, a better friend, a better sister, a better person, and a better inspiration, or however I can help somebody, whoever's following me on my platform.
So you telling me you don't pray to God and be like, hey, God, I want my husband to give me this. I want my kids to give me this. I want to make $2 million. Well, you probably pray about that. But I'm just saying, you don't, it's more of being of service to the people around you rather than expecting something back.
When you service, and I've learned that, the more I service others and I'm there for others, I get back tenfold.
I heard like Michelle Obama, she was talking about her experience with Barack. And she was like, it was like about however many years where she felt like it was like 70-30 or 80-20, So she was saying how people get married for the wrong reasons nowadays. They get married because they want to be happy or they want their partners to support them, but not support them in a way that actually makes them better, but more so, I'm going through this. Don't hold me accountable. Just be there for me and validate however I'm feeling. Yeah. And really what marriage is about is having somebody there who acts as a mirror to call you out on your BS. Absolutely. And nobody can call you out on your BS like the person who's living with you. You can hide that from a relative or from a friend, but that's the most important aspect of being married for me is that there's no way I would have been who I am today had I not had a wife to call me out on stuff. So if I'm talking a certain way to my friend or to my mother or to she, later on that night, she'll let, a little bit of time pass and be like, that was kind of disrespectful when you, or if I'm getting ready to send an email to my boss, she's looking at the email and saying, nope, that your feelings in like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most important.
That's the one thing my husband always used to tell me. And I feel like I'm a lot better now.
But of catching it before he,
he'd be like, he used to always say, you sound like you in your feelings. You got to get out your feelings. Like, it's not about how you feel. It's about, what's really happening.
Oh, got you. Okay. You know what else I want to talk about? Essential Solids, the movie. Like
You saw that too?
You did. It was so good because it was like this. Like you had the red light. It reminded me of the scene off Minister Society where Bill Dukes.
That's what it was about.
He was in. Oh, for real?
Yeah,
He was in.
that's where I got it
Yeah,
from.
because you was in. You played two characters, the interrogator. And, and the person being interrogated, and you was like, yeah, where the leggings at? I got
Yeah.
proof. Here go the pictures. I got
Yeah.
DMs. I got stories on Instagram. I know you got them.
Yeah.
And at that point, I felt like the interrogator kind of was the consumers, right? Because we're like, hey, you better you keep selling out.
Right.
When they coming back? So how did you get to the point to where you became such a brilliant marketer, number one, and number two,
thank you.
and number two, why is that important? Because you can have a good product, but if you can't sell it and market it, then
Yeah.
it only goes so far.
Right. I feel like I've learned a lot along the way. Like I've told you, you just gotta just try stuff and see if it works. Don't be scared if people don't like it or whatever, and just keep going. And I just wanted to do something different. Like I said, I used to always have my dials out when I was a kid, and just I used to want to be an actress. I used to want, sing
Used to.
and all
I mean,
that.
we might be able to see you on Amazon Prime, Netflix, Tubi, something. So is this
But-
still in the cards? Would you be open to?
I would be open to that because I can learn the script, and once I memorize that, you can kind of like play it along your personality. I feel
You
like
was
I could do
good
that.
because it was you, but I could tell you played two different roles.
Yeah.
So where they
It was
at?
fun.
I don't know where they at. I done told you everything. I loved it, man.
It was fun,
Yeah.
but that's what it was based on. Like, so the reason why we did it like that is because I couldn't reveal, even with Oprah's Favorite Things, I couldn't reveal what was going on. I signed the NDA. I signed the NDA, non-disclosure agreement with The View. And like I couldn't say what was happening, but I still needed to promote it some kind of way. So that was the whole idea behind the Essential Solids, the movie, I wanted to promote it, but I couldn't
That's
say what it was.
brilliant. Yeah,
and then if you saw all 3 parts, I think it was 3 parts.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
the end,
yeah.
it's like, oh, stay tuned. We're gonna be on The View at so and so time. That was like my moment and time frame where I could reveal
That
it to
was
my
absolute. Who came up with that?
me and my girl Vernie. Vernie, she does production. I work with her and OJ, and
Let's talk about the team. So you said, what's her name again?
Vernie.
Vernie, also OJ. Let's talk about your whole team and how important they are to your success.
Yeah, so Vernie helps me with the creative behind, like, the skits or whatnot, whatever we doing. Like, we did some shooting the other day when I took my kids to the Disney Immersive. I was shooting earlier that day for some new stuff that's coming out this week. OJ, he works behind the camera. I love his work. I got a photographer named Chris. He does amazing work. He's been shooting with me since the Essential Solids first came out, before they became Oprah's Favorite Things. A couple years before that. He's an amazing photographer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to have a team. Once you find people that you're good working with, communication wise, and you really love like the work that they put out, like, I feel like you stuck with me at that point. And
You ain't going nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we vibing good and you doing good work, like, I want to continue working with you.
Do your kids realize how big you are? Like
I
that
think
you a
I
Detroit
realize. I
legend?
don't think I'm that big. I
Yeah, of
just
course
feel
you're
like
not
I'm
gonna think
just
that, but do they?
a regular
You are.
person.
Listen, you're not. No, you're not. You are not. Well, you regular to you,
Yeah,
maybe,
just-
but to everybody else looking on the outside in, you're huge. So do they know? They probably like, oh, that's mommy. Do they know what you're doing when you? Because they see you designing stuff. They see
Yeah.
you getting ready to roll out things. They see all of this stuff, right? They see how much work is involved. How do they react to that chaos? I guess because I'm sure it's chaotic leading up to that.
My
to a rollout.
oldest, I don't think I think because he's been there and he sees it and he understands it because he's older. He's just like, oh, this is mom, But my middle child, she is my biggest fan. Like, she came to me a couple of days ago. She's like, Mom, I saw somebody at school with Mel Fit on and Fancy Homebody. And she was like, you know Fancy Homebody, don't you? I was like, yeah, I know Fancy Homebody. And Mia, for example. So she sees all these kids, like the girls wearing the Glamaholic bags, then Fancy Homebody and Mel Fit. She was like, Mom, they didn't believe me when I told them that that I'm your daughter. I'm like, they gotta believe you that you're my. Just show them pictures.
Wow.
She's like, okay. And she went back to school, came back.
Yeah.
She's like, but they don't believe that I know Mia. I was like, well, I'll call Mia. So I text Mia that day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mia, they telling Jaylee that you don't know her, and could you send a video to her so she could show her friends? And Mia made up a whole video like, I do know Jaylee and this, that, and the other. So Jaylee took it back to school. And I'm like, Jaylee, tell your friends, do they need us to pull up? You know, you want Mia to come pull up to the school, but... Yeah, that was really nice of Mia to do that. But
that's dope.
Yeah,
Mia always doing stuff for people. Like I talked to her over text the other day. I said, "Hey, I got Mel Fit coming. I got like this wouldn't happen without you. And at some point, I'm gonna find a way to add value. I'm gonna find a way to add value to your life." And she's like, "You ain't gotta do nothing. Don't thank me for that." Yeah, but that's how humble she is.
She's so humble. Yeah, she's so humble. I met her so many. Well, not. It seemed like so many years ago. Now I met her a long time ago when we were doing network marketing together and. She was just like the sweetest person. She's always been like that. She just give you whatever she got, you know, and she always there. And I could call her right now and just be like, Mia, you know, and I could vent if I wanted to. You know, I try not to because she will give me that strong talk and be like, and look at me like, well, why you didn't do it like this? Or why you didn't do that? You know, she'll
Auntie
put you
Mia.
in your place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They'll be like, damn. So I try not to go to her unless I just really, really need something. Because otherwise I'm going to feel like, damn, I could have thought of that. You know what I'm saying?
But the fact that you got somebody, you got access to her, unlimited. Yeah. So, I mean, when you wake up in the morning, ladies, you know, you got to basically go to the gym. So you throwing on Mel Fit. Then you get back, you jump in the shower, put on your makeup, and you're going to have to throw on some fancy homebody. Some nice, cute, lounging, you know, attire. Yeah. It's going to look cute when you out. Or you can throw the Mel Fit on for that too. But you got to have your Glamaholic bag when y'all out. Y'all got to, it's the trio. You can't have one without the other two. You get what I'm trying to say. So it's just dope that you're mentioned in the same sentence as those folks. I saw recently, when did you actually move into your warehouse? Because I saw a picture of you in a warehouse, boxes everywhere. Yeah. Before you was keeping everything, I imagine, in your home, at your home, right? Yeah.
Yes. And going back to Mia, I remember talking to her about it. And I actually took over her old warehouse. So before she moved, and I was just telling her, like, I just got stuff everywhere. I had it like all along the walls. It got to the point where it was in my garage stacked up. It was all in the basement. And she was just like, you got to go. But I was kind of nervous to move and, you know, get to that next box. I'm like, what if I can't afford it? What if I can't keep up? And she told me, like, you know, you got to move and grow if you want to grow more. How can you can only grow within the space that you're in.
Wow.
If you don't take this next, you know, spot in the bigger space, then you're only going to be set where you're at. You need that space so that you can grow and have even more.
Yeah, and of course it's gonna be it's gonna be uncomfortable, but you can't get to where you want to. You can't, like, growth doesn't happen without discomfort coming prior. You know what I'm saying? Or during that, I guess.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So that's dope.
You gotta be uncomfortable to get where you need to get.
I like that. And you gotta kind of become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
You do.
Because after you achieve one goal, there goes the next one, right? Yeah. So what are some things that you looking to do? You already done did everything.
No,
right?
I have not.
Listen, if you stop today,
that I need to still, I feel like, accomplish as an entrepreneur and as a person. And you know, I want to give back to the community. I want to work with little kids. I grew up as a chubby kid, so I want to give back. I want to eventually talk to younger girls, or
because that's where you want to catch that, right? Yeah. And they can develop those habits
they
early.
They can have those healthy habits, you know, stick with them when they become adults and teenagers and all that.
Okay, so where do you want to go how do you want to grow personally over the next, let's say, 5 years? What's one of, and you don't have to share this, what's one of Ashley's weaknesses that she wants to manage better?
Doing stuff like this.
For real? Can y'all tell she don't even look like she nervous. She talking about
stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm over here, my palms are sweating. I'm like, oh, we're almost over. No, but seriously, I mean, and I could talk about it. I don't mind talk about it. Like I said, it's the idea of it. I was telling my husband before I came, I'm like, you know, I know I'll do good, and I know I don't look like I'm nervous, but
at all.
I feel it, and I know, like, I just got to do more of things like this so that I can just be comfortable. So that's just a personal goal of mine, is to just talk more about my business and my brand and myself, and just...
Have you turned down stuff in the past that people asked you to... So let me ask this question. What made you say yes? I'm so glad you said yes to me, because I was nervous. What made you say...
canceled.
For real?
Nah, you know, I had... Last week, I was like, I can't make it. I'm going to have to... And I felt bad, and I was like...
I
Then
ain't
I'll
care about
start
that,
feeling
yeah.
like today I was like, oh, am I gonna make it today?
The butterflies, yeah.
But
But what made you say yes in the first place, though? Because you could have told me no, and I
could
still would have been
have.
following you. I still would have been promoting your stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
don't take that.
Well, because I seen you had Robin, you
Robin
had
Fuller.
Mia on here, and I'm like, oh, I can't tell him no. He seen, and then I actually watched a lot of people that you interviewed.
Oh, man.
Baby Girl Red.
What? You took time out of your day to watch?
Yeah, I watched that. I watched the one with the guy who helps people with confidence and
Wow. Oh yeah, Jason Phil. So
Yeah.
wait, hold on one second. So just so the
I
way
did my
you
research.
the way I know the way you felt when Oprah told you that your leggings were her favorite. That's kind of how I feel.
Aw.
No, hearing you say
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Because when you get quality people that endorse you in that type of way, that means a lot.
Yeah.
So okay, so we know how you want to grow as far as community service, giving back to young women and teaching them the right things that will cause them to live a more healthier life, more fulfilling life, right?
Yeah.
Because you need good health in order to live a fulfilling life,
Absolutely.
right? Okay, the other thing,
You can have all the money in the world,
and
but
it
if
won't matter. Yeah.
you eating bad and drinking and your heart go wrong, it's over.
It's over. Okay, so what about professionally? Where do you see your business going? If you can just say, I know you ain't gonna say all of it because I know you want to surprise people, but in the next 5 years, where do you see it?
I want to see Mel Fit in a place where you can go and purchase Mel Fit without just having to purchase it online.
Wow. So that's the next step right there. Wow. I just saw Melissa Butler. That's another one.
Oh, yeah.
And
Lip Bar.
Lip Bar. And she was in Target she had like the whole wall taken up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the fourth horseman. Yeah. Y'all get my
Number
point.
one
Yeah.
Black entrepreneur in Target.
Yeah. Golly.
Yeah.
God, Glamaholic, Fancy Homebody, Mel Fit, the Lip Bar. That's dope, man. Okay, so this is why you inspired me. I was watching this story, and it was about Jim Carrey talking about his dad. And he said his dad was always one of the funniest people in the room. He was an incredible saxophone player. He had an orchestra.
Really?
Yeah, had an orchestra in Toronto. And the only way that he would have been able to really succeed and be able to support his family while doing that was to come over to the States. But fear got in his dad's way. Plus he had to take care of his family, which is an honorable thing. If you sacrifice not doing something that, you want to do, and your reason for doing it is to make sure your family good, I'm not knocking anybody that does that. But there are people who are able to figure out how to do all of it,
Yeah.
And he said with his dad, as time went on, it wore on him. Because he became an accountant and he didn't want to do it. And then by the time he turned 51, he lost the job. And that completely broke him. And what Jim Carrey was saying is that when you compromise and fail, that hurts a lot worse than failing at something you love. So
I can imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can fail doing something you don't want to do, then you might as well take a chance on doing something you love. You did that. And as a result of that, your three beautiful, one handsome, your two beautiful daughters, one handsome son, like that possibility is more realized to them.
Yes.
And with your husband doing it too.
Yeah.
Right. So that's huge that you not only inspired your offspring, whether they know it or not yet, but you inspired everybody else around you. And I want to thank you, Ashley G. Ashley, the G is for Get Money, for coming on here. And where can people find you on social media? And you can look into this camera and say it. Yeah.
Okay. Watch Me Melt is my personal. Melt Fit is my clothing brand. Melt Fit. And you can go to meltfit.com. I don't know when this will come out, but
Soon. Real soon. When you get a celebrity on here, you got to release this right away. Yeah.
But fellas, you can get your wife or the girl in your life or your daughter, your younger girl, some Melt Fit. They'll love it. It's comfortable. And women, if you've never tried it, the Essential Solids is a good place to start.
Dope. You got any last words before you get out of here? You like, no, just hurry up and cut the cameras
No,
off.
I don't feel like that. It's just, it just take a minute to warm up.
You warmed up after the first 2 seconds.
You think so?
Absolutely. This is one of my best ones.
I just want to say thank you. It's really nice to be reached out and asked to be on a podcast. I feel like I'm very humble and
You are humble thanking me. I should be thanking you.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley. Hey, y'all, pay attention to Mel Fit, because I guarantee you it's already a extremely successful brand, but it's going places. And sooner or later, you're going to be able to find it in stores. Like, what stores do you want to be in? Just name one.
Let me name one.
Yeah, just one.
I don't want to name it.
Don't name it. You ain't going to name it yet, but she going to
I
tell me
wanna
off
put it out
camera.
there.
She going to tell me off camera, and I ain't going to be able to tell y'all. All right, y'all. Conversations with TinBridge. Peace.